Hi there, I'm Bridget and you're welcome to Be Baker's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making deliciously moist and tender banana bread. Let's get to it. So I started out with 5 fingers of banana. I'm making a large loaf. I'm using a 9x5 pan. So definitely I'm going to add more fingers of banana. So I'm using 5 fingers. And then I'm breaking in my eggs. I'm using 3 large eggs for this recipe because of course I like to get that nice fluffy texture that eggs tend to bring to cakes and other bakes. So yeah, 3 large eggs. Now I'm going to try to entreat you to make sure you mix thoroughly whenever you add your eggs or even other wet ingredients. It's good to mix thoroughly. And then after this I'm going to be going in with my brown sugar. Remember I said we're going to be making a chocolate banana loaf, so brown sugar adds a little, tends to enhance the chocolate flavor, so I like to add it. You can skip it if you don't want it. So after this I'm going to be adding my butter. I'm having 100 grams of melted butter, adding also a cup of milk, and we're just going to add the vanilla flavor, which is about 1.5 teaspoons. Now I'm using the 1/2 teaspoon measurement, so that's why it's a little much. You're going to see it now. So you can actually use a teaspoon. If you have a teaspoon, use a teaspoon for it. 1.5 teaspoons of your vanilla flavor. Now I'm going to mix it thoroughly just to make sure that everything is well infused in the batter. Now moving forward, I'm going to be using putting in my dry ingredients. I've already sifted my flour, so I'm just putting that in, and then my baking soda, like I said, I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon measurement, and the recipe actually called for 2 teaspoons of baking soda. I remembered later, and then I added a 1/2 teaspoon to complete that. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, so then after the baking soda, you want to add about 3 teaspoons of your baking powder, or you can even use the same 2 teaspoons. It's just the ratio of the baking powder to baking soda is just about a 1/2 teaspoon or 1 teaspoon less of one than the other. So if you're using 3 teaspoons of baking soda, you want to use 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and vice versa. Now I've added in my spices. Now for these spices, you can use cinnamon, you can use nutmeg, you can use ginger, whatever it is that you think you like the taste with bananas. But of course cinnamon works perfectly well with bananas. And the last thing I added was salt, just to have a teaspoon of salt. You don't want it too much, okay? Now we're going to give it a thorough mix to make sure that everything is properly infused. Now notice the way that I'm mixing it. I'm doing a cut and a fold. That is the way you want to mix your banana bread, because you don't want to mash up all the bananas, and at the same time you want to get that banana touch in the loaf as soon as it's baked. Yeah, so then I'm adding my chocolate. Now because of the fact that I'm baking this loaf for home use, I'm not putting too many chocolate. This is different if I'm baking it for sale. I'm just using about a cup and 1/8 cup of chocolate chunks. But if of course you're using it for sale, or maybe you like more chocolate, please feel free to add as much as you want. But this is something, and I'm going to still use a glaze on. I'm still going to use a chocolate peanut butter glaze on top of this banana loaf. It is so yummy. Trust me, you want to try it. So that is the reason why I just added a little bit of chocolate chips inside. So now I've already prepared my pan by greasing it. So I'm just going to pour the batter inside the pan evenly. Now what I like to do just to make sure that everywhere it comes out even and not with pores all over, I put a little bit of the butter, I spread it, and then I add the remaining into the pan, just to make sure that I eliminate pores or air bubbles as much as possible. I'm still going to give it a tap, but I like to do this. It just works perfectly well for me. So do what works for you. Okay, so that's me putting it into the pan, making sure that it's all settled in. The chocolate chips are inside it. After this, I'm going to be putting chocolate chips on top of it to make it va-va-vo. And then I'm going to still add the glaze. Trust me, for my house, we like sweet mouths. Okay, so that's it. That's the last part of the batter I put in the pan. Now you can decide to share this batter into this batter makes at least 6 mini loaves, and if you're making a medium loaf, it makes 2 medium loaves. Just perfect for you to actually make as much as possible in case you want to make separate loaves for your family. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This is how the banana loaf came out. Oh, and I also made mini chocolate cakes because I wanted the family picnic to just be amazing. So if you would like to know the recipe for my chocolate cake, kindly click on the link that I'll leave in the description box. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am so grateful. Kindly like and subscribe for more of this content. God bless you.